jurisdiction that still has it. Mm, I mean, and then you could look at the fact that, the impact, you really, it could be determined as, some sort of violence against the individual, you know what I mean? For those crimes, because you're going to be beating the individual.
But I mean, so I'm just being devil's advocate at this point, right? They committed a crime. What should be their punishment? Just jail time and maybe pay back the person?
Yeah, I guess so.
No flogging.
No flogging.
I'm surprised that it was still on the books, but I guess
Yeah.
the more you live, the more you know.
I
So
wonder,
he
how, I
brought
wonder
it.
how our viewers, our callers, our listeners would view this. I mean, the fact that it says that is the only country in the Western Hemisphere to have it on its book still means that we think it's in Nevis does not.
Yeah, we probably removed
Do
it a
not,
while
yeah.
back now. But you know what he says? For several decades, judicial officers and magistrates in particular have abused this form of punishment by ordering flogging for robbery, traffic offenses, that's insane, offensive language, and all sorts of offenses not permitted under law. So they've been abusing it. So I can see why he's pushing to get it removed. Worse, there are several instances where magistrate ordered flogging forthwith in clear violation of the law, which states that a period of 14 days must elapse before the punishment is enforced. He said, adding that the motion is supported by other criminal attorneys. So,
And they're saying we are saying such a slavery era form of punishment in an era of repatriative justice throughout the Atlantic world from a person whose ancestors were enslaved requires a rejection of the slave master's toolkit of punishment intended simply to degrade and dehumanize the enslaved.
and that was my first thought. So I thought that's where he would go first. That, it's bringing back an era when we're supposed to be saying, we've done away with slavery, we're looking for reparations, and now you're bringing back something that is so tied to, reminiscent of slavery. So I thought that's where he would go first, but
Well, let's see if persons want to call in, give their views on that, and we could have a discussion. And also, for those persons who sat the CXC examinations, the CXC is saying that results are to be released on August 24th. So the Caribbean Examination Council has announced in a notice that the May-June 2023 CXC exam results would be accessible via the online student portal on Thursday, August 24th, 2023. It said candidates may visit their website and log on to the online student portal to access the May-June 2023 CXC exam results on Thursday, August 24th, 2023. Results are coming.
well, it's going to be a short summer for some of you. I mean, some persons are going to be happy, and of course, there are going to be persons who are not happy. And after all the whole debacle with paper and then the whole cabinet with 9 subjects going missing in Jamaica.
It's going to be very interesting. And, this is one of the examinations post-COVID-19. As a lecturer myself, previously during the 2020, the COVID-19 period, it was at one point in time the students only did the multiple choice. Then it came back into the format with the paper 1 and the paper 2. But CXC will give the topics that were going to come on the paper 2.
Okay.
So you were able to prepare and prep for these specific topics. This year, there was no hint as
So
to
that's
the
why
topics.
everybody went crazy.
So I'm looking to see, interestingly, how persons are going to fare with that, because you remember in my time you didn't know what topics were going to come.
Neither mine.
Yeah.
So they were getting it easy.
So during the time of
So-
COVID, they gave them a little assistance in the sense that, okay, then we realize it's a tough time for you. We're going to we're going to let you know what topics are going to be touched. And so this is the first year that,
they didn't get any hints, and
Since
they
the
definitely
COVID.
retaliated. I mean, the stealing of papers in Jamaica, in Guyana, the selling of it's just been a little bit ridiculous. So I'm interested to see what happens when the results are out and how things pan out.
Yeah, we have a caller. Caller, you live on Island T.
We lost the call? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
we lost
No
that
worries.
call. No worries.
Yeah,
We hope
so-
that you call back.
Guys, August 24th.
Yes.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Greetings, IT.
Good morning. How
Good
are you
morning.
doing?
How are you doing?
I am well once you're well.
Awesome.
Awesome.
What was that flogging in for before the sexy? We missed it. Can just run it again, please.
There's a lawyer in Grenada that has filed a motion to remove flogging from the law books in Grenada. Grenada's been the only country in this area in the Western Hemisphere that still has the law on the books. So he's making a petition to have it removed.
Great.
Indeed.
Yeah, great. Me get some flogging in a sink this year.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, they call it cat and eye.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We disgusting, they say, and yeah, man, them magistrate hard for me to get the 6 or 9 of them thing there, you know.
Oh,
Wow.
Terrible, you know.
It looks like a weapon of torture indeed. It looks like torture indeed. I'm looking at the picture of the cat o' nine tails and it's wow.
It's terrible, man. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible. Me experience it.
What was
I
the
said, me
healing
can't
like?
sit down for. Hey, no. But how we as a people who been through what we've been through had where we get the nerves from to keep to do with people, to do each other them things.
I know.
Even at a certain time when we say certain things abolish and blah blah boom boom. Still, you know, that's why me always, you know, we always, I'm going to stop in a call for the right faces in the right places, you know,
Yeah.
because we know what a difference it makes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because people's decisions, hey, animals don't hurt people, you know. Birds don't hurt people, you know. Fishes don't hurt people, people hurt people.
This is true. This is very true.
I mean, I say people, I mean, right across the board, even them especially them in them authoritative decision-making position. Yeah, man, me experience that tonight, man, and I'm telling you, man.
Gosh.
And the thing is that, you know, I was defending myself, you know, because some people try to gang me and stab up one of them, you know.
Wow.
I was defending myself. About 5 people
Oh my
come on
gosh.
top of me, come beat me, and I defend myself and stab one of them. And the magistrate, the cat and nine. And I remember the police, hey, let me stop talking about these things, man.
I'm so
Get
sorry
down.
you went through that.
Listen down.
Yeah, thank you for calling
Yeah.
in.
Thanks for calling in. Thanks for sharing your experience.
At least we have somebody that can actually testify to the inhumane treatment and the actual feeling of it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, it looks like a weapon of torture. And have you seen like any of those Easter movies where they actually flog Jesus? That's what they use, and you see all his skin getting pierced and all of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's something else, and we'll see how that goes. And most likely.
Hello, good morning.
Another call. Caller, you're live on Inside Island T.
Hello.
Okay.
No, it's
Hello.
not connecting. Hello. Yeah, it's acting crazy.
Yeah. We. Mm-hmm.
Caller, feel free to call back. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
It's inhumane to beat a child, an adult, and anyone else with cat and knife. But when you go further, it's also inhuman to use any kind of knife, stick, or weapon to beat up on another individual too. So to stab up somebody, justify the cause of the fact that one defending themselves, it's not agreeable. One has to find solution to deal with conflict rather than using violence. Seek help to defend yourself and use your words to defend yourself. Or use your feet and introduce law enforcement as much as possible to stay out of trouble. There are lots of ways that one can escape trouble. Now, there are lots of things that people have in the arsenal, but they don't use. They probably will never use them. And so the thing is, to say that you're going to take, to have a show, a bang on the street and say, oh, we remove catanoing off the street. In my opinion, even if you leave it there, you could leave it there and let people know, the children and adults know that it's there and it's an arsenal that is available that could be used. You don't have to use it. You could talk to the judges and say, hey, look, you must never post that on somebody, even though it's a tool that is there that could be used. You don't have to say in the public that you're not going to use it. And so the thing is, to make everybody in a comfort zone and say, oh, we've been through this and we've been through that, so we're not going to use it. And hanging, we're not going to use hanging. But at the same time, people killing people still. Is it not inhuman to kill a brother, a sister? And so if that person comes up and he have to be hanged, are they going to use the thing to hang the person? Then it should be used as a deterrent, but you know that it's there and it's available, that it could be used. People must learn to think. Not everything that is a weapon, but it could be a weapon if you use it to be if you try to make it into a weapon. But people have to learn to think and have to avoid trouble, conflict, and confrontation with others. If you're in a discussion with someone and you can't get across your point, you just hush and let the person hush. Sometimes we have to learn to know when to speak and when not to speak. I think I have said enough. Have a good day.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you, Carlo.
I mean, he makes good points. And one of the things that the magistrate, the lawyer that's putting forward the petition actually said is that some of the magistrates are abusing it. Right? And so I think that is one of the issues that he's having with it. I see, like, to the very bottom of the article, he had held a protest in 2017 on a former plantation.
We have a call.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, guys.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Now, judging from the two callers, right? What are we doing here, Candice and Azard? You see, we had a system that was imposed upon us. Now, the last caller gives his opinion of how we can handle conflict. All of us are not the same. Now, with respect to what Ichud said, I have said that nothing is wrong with us. Something has happened to us. All of us are not the same. We don't have the same temperament. There are those who use weapon of death to defend themselves. It is wrong. The second caller alluded to that. But I am saying we were a people that were loving ourselves before we were interrupted. I want to emphasize on that. We were a collective. So when did we start hating ourselves? No, let us look at what we are consuming. Music, food. We are now ingesting GMOs. Who knows what effect they're causing on the brain? Along with the trauma that we've been through. Guys, I am saying to us that we need to eradicate that. Because I have said we are here to nurture. The totality of creation is to reprocreate and to nurture, to live in harmony with our brothers and with nature. So I am saying nothing is wrong with us. Something has happened to us. Guys, you know that we've been studied in their labs as guinea pigs. So let us broaden what we know that they are doing. Who knows what they're doing in their labs? They have bring war onto us. Are you following me?
Yeah, we're listening.
Candice,
Yeah, I'm listening.
yesterday you said you was going to look of the news item with the Finland politician. Have you done so?
I wasn't able. I apologize.
Is Jamsey in the house this morning?
Yeah, he's fiddling with some equipment back here.
Okay. Now, this is a topic that we need to have. I am not hating on any people, but I am saying we have to be restored first. No other race have suffered like us. So let us unite and love ourselves, and let us deal with our system within ourselves. Now, quickly, when former president was campaigning, what did he say? America come first. So why shouldn't we come first in our own space within ourselves? I have something else to share, but I'm doing some chores around the house. I just thought with what Eli opened on the second caller, I just thought I was about to just listen. So if I get back, I'm going to continue my chores, and I'll try and get back in later.
All right,
Okay,
and thank you so much for your contribution. You know, there's two sides to every story, because at the same time, you want justice to prevail, but then it must be done in a prescribed manner. It must be done in a certain manner.
Yep, indeed.
Right.
Yeah, we to have Senator Govaya from Antigua and Barbuda. The carnival is coming up in that country.
And Senator Govaya is
she is
a senator or a Calypsonian, or where are we going?
Oh no, she is. We have a call. So we'll
Hello,
get
good
back
morning.
here.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Yes. You see that thing why I'm speaking about Scott anointing? Let me tell you something. That thing is very dangerous, okay? Growing up, I see children, when they go to the court and the magistrate ordered them to get lit, they couldn't even sit down, they couldn't even walk. You couldn't even put his skin on the buttock. It's very, very dangerous. You understand? And whoever I'm glad they put in that thing to remove that. Somebody's supposed to talk to the children like that. 10 years, 11, 12, 13 years. And that is where you see sometimes the children go up and they get so violent because things that they go through. You understand? Sometimes they come back to you and look, and when people do anything, you just feel like you want to flip. That's evil. You can't abuse people like that. That's abuse. They don't do that in America, you know. You cannot just put a child over a bench and just beat in the child. Sometimes you can't even find skin on the child back. Oh my God!
What were some of the reasons for flogging children? What were some of the reasons for the punishment? Like, what crime did the child commit?
Sometimes they do things. Maybe they just check up something when it belongs to them or something. I'm talking about when I was growing up. I see it happen. 10, 11, 12, 13 years. That's child abuse. You cannot do children that. That's abuse. You got to find ways and means to deal with them. You can't just put a child over a bench, set down him, and the child and beating hell out of the child. That's evil and wickedness. Think it's got the whole thing, you know?
No.
Okay, well, I'm so glad they moved that, because I see when I was growing up, little boys, Lord, Father, God, they can't sit down, they can't walk. I see a young man do his stepson here in the road, and I like tie him up and beat that child because they put the child in a room and the child want pee, and he pee in a bucket and look, that child had a house here with a to ship the child off island with a cable wire. You can't let them child abuse. So I'm glad they do something like this. I'm very, very glad, because trust me, it's easier when you can't sit down, you can't walk. Oh my God, miss. Have a blessed day. You hear?
Thank you so much for your call. Well,
Thank
that
you for your
painted
call.
a very intense picture. And I've never actually seen it in person. I've only seen it, like I said, on maybe those Easter movies when they reenact the whole whipping of Jesus. And even that is traumatic.
We have another call.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, child abuse, and is no abuse to a child, an adult. No abuse is good. And sometimes we think that physical abuse is bad, which is bad. But if you ever think about verbal abuse, let me tell you, someone has said a long time ago that sticks and stones will break my bones, but words won't do me no harm. But I can tell you this. Someone can give you one word and you stay in your house for years and don't want to come out. And you'll never forget that. You probably will forget the lash and so on, but you'll always remember those abusive words. So one of the things that I will say is that if you're saying something as a joke to someone and you're joking, it might be a joke to you, but it could be offensive to somebody else. And if you look at the expression of the person who you're making the joke with or at, and they have a serious face, all you have to do is stop. Because if you carry on, the person could be getting deeper and deeper offended, and you are unaware, and they could break out in violence.
Yeah.
So to me, we have to be careful with what we say and how we say it, because what is joke to the butcher is death to the animal. So I say all of that to say this. Any abuse to whether human or children, adult, is abusive. But at the end of the day, children also, an adult, must know that there are consequences to their action. Whatever you do, you will suffer the consequence at the end of the day, or you will enjoy the benefit of the reward of the things that you do good. So having all these tools doesn't mean that you will use them. It doesn't mean that they will be used at you. But you must put yourself in a position that these tools must not come up against you. Thank you very much. I think I've said enough.
Thank you
And
for
do have a
your
good
call.
day.
Thank you so much. Same to you. And you make a valid point. There are consequences for your actions, but then there is a difference between abuse and meting out justice or disciplining someone, and I think that's where the line gets a bit blurred. You know, some persons are completely against hitting persons, but then they use the words, they use emotional abuse, and it comes back to the same thing. So there's a difference between abuse and discipline. You can punish someone and it doesn't have to resort in physical abuse or mental or emotional abuse. But they must know that, like you said, there are consequences to their actions. So we'll see how this goes. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Azard. And the beautiful voice lady.
Candy, good morning.
Last week, yesterday and a couple of weeks ago, I was asking you all about a serious problem in pockets of this island. People discussing it. About the Christoph lands, some lands where Robert Bradshaw left over there in the name of St. Kitts Nevis to put a boys home. And the farmer government was challenging them to get that Nevis land and a sum of money from National Bank. And we, poor people on the road, is calling on Dr. Joe to come and explain these things to us. Because they ain't gonna dead just now. If I like fire out and like to and deal with these people, it's not gonna work in St. Kitts this day and age. It can't work like this. Candice, I want to tell you, and I don't take some lashes for it. In the past, from Colonial, the time and whip war. But what I like to see is people, young men who is killing people, must get the time and whip. Things that you cannot hang them for killing, put them over the bench and deal with it. It's harsh. And I believe it's reasonable enough for them kind of people. Because we never tackle one life and feel it could go down like that. And I walk here. Good morning, Jacqueline. But I understand your sentiments, how it was in the past. But in this modern time, it's where we get in tickets. Then we'll go down the road with that. I believe that should be one the better if the prison for men who feel like they could just kill people.
So you support the flogging?
I will support it to a point.
Okay.
Jacqueline said something. In the past, it never used to be like you go and you keep something, you get it, you know. I go in the stores and you shoplift something, you get it. It used to be for hash crime, stabbing people, you know, body-wise and breaking up hand and them kind of things. It never used to be. And if Arundel used to do it, and it control we as youngsters in them years coming through. Look at all of us. Even ex we talk. We don't go around and just interfering in people and causing problems in society. We try to build society and make a brighter path for young ones coming through. But where you're getting right now, the magistrate them should use their discretion and deal with it with certain people with these offenses. Have a good day.
Thank you. Same
This
to you.
is Jam Down talking, eh?
Thank you
Definitely.
so much. Thank you for your contribution.
Flogging.
Wow.
So it's a good thing that it's no longer. On
That's why I
our
was just
books.
thinking, I was just thinking that this is not applicable to us because it's no longer on our books, but the fact that it riles up so many discussions.
Because it brings back so many memories of persons who have actually seen it or experienced it.
Yeah, and we have persons here based on the calls who are for and against, so it's a mixed review.
I feel like there are other ways that you can punish persons. We've evolved, and so I think that the law should evolve as the society does. I mean, there's still persons that crime is always going to be crime. There's always going to be stealing. There's always going to
Yes.
be murders. But you must come up with more humane ways of meting out punishment.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the issues that we're having.
Looking at some other issues, I think her name is Simenia. Simenia says, and this is an athlete, I'm looking in the sports arena now and the Luke News. Simenia says that she is elated after ruling in testosterone case.
I knew it was her. The name sounded familiar,
Yes.
and I kind of knew about her from a couple of years ago.
So champion runner Simenia is elated at the ruling by the European Court of Human Rights in her favor in her legal battle against track and field rules that force her to suppress her natural testosterone to compete, she said in a statement Wednesday. But while Tuesday's ruling found that the two-time Olympic champion in the 800 meters had been discriminated against, the court didn't strike